Okay, so here's part two. We are going to talk about my hip injury. I won't go into too much detail right now, but yes, so this is part two, and it is the last part of my injuries. Hopefully, I don't have to make part three sometime soon in the future, but yes, that's part two right now. Welcome to part two. Hello. Enjoy. I'd like to say this is probably the biggest injury I've dealt with. It's the most recent and it still affects me. I'm still not like fully recovered, I guess, from it. It keeps coming back. So let's set the scene again, shall we? It's summer 2016. Me and my sister are working out and I'm doing side lunges and I go down and I come back up and I feel like something in my groin. And I was like, ooh, I think I pulled my groin a little bit. Which happens a lot when I work out. I like pull stuff or like stuff gets stretched out too far or cramps. So I shook it off. I was like, oh, I'll just ice when I get home. So it really hurt throughout the whole workout. And me and my sister went to go run on the track and I was like, we got like half a mile in. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like this hurts really bad. So I went home and iced, and I thought, oh, it's just gonna heal over time, whatever, because again, as I said before, I don't stop playing unless something snaps, pulls, breaks, shatters, whatever. I don't stop, because I love the game, I guess. The whole summer, leading up into fall of 2016, we had a summer volleyball league, and, you know, it's like pretty competitive, and I would play, and afterwards, my right groin thigh area, I'm touching it right now, that's why I'm moving, haha. It would hurt. It hurt so bad, I couldn't walk after it. And I started noticing, I went on some college tours, and when I was on my tours, I noticed that my leg was going numb, which wasn't good. It would go numb, it'd get tight, it hurt so bad to like walk. And so finally, we were going into like the last weeks of summer, you know, getting ready for volleyball to actually start. I told my coaches, I was like, hey, this is really bothering me. I talked to my doctor, she said I should probably rest. I'm gonna come to the practices, but I'm just gonna sit and ice and be supportive because, not to brag, I knew I was gonna be on varsity anyway. I was the best middle hitter, and I knew all that stuff anyway. So after a week of icing, it did not get any better. And I finally talked to my parents and I was like, okay, something needs to happen. We need to go see someone. So we actually went to a specialist. I forget what she did. I forget her name. But it was pretty bad. They assessed me. They took an x-ray and they showed us, they're like, this doesn't look right. And they showed us, like, a bone should be solid white, you know, like in an x-ray, it should be solid white, like crisp and sharp. And they popped up my hips because they took an x-ray of my hips because that's where it was hurting. And they showed us my pelvic bone area and they're like, this is feathery, you know, like it's like ombre, fading. And so you could see all my sharp bone lines and then this like section, like, you know, where the hip bones connect, I guess, it was like wearing away, basically. My bone was wearing away. And they're like, this is really bad. It's probably a stress fracture, maybe, we don't know, but you have to get an MRI to find out. And I was like, oh my god, this is like serious. I should have rested. Dang it. And so a couple weeks later, or a week later, we got an MRI. And that was pretty cool. I just sat there and like listened to some music and it was like, yeah. And I was really hopeful because they said, if it's not a stress fracture, then you'll need probably like 4 weeks of like rehab to strengthen the muscles again. If it is a stress fracture, it's like 8 to 12 weeks, 6 weeks to rest, and then like you have to start physical therapy. And it was my senior year of high school volleyball, and I was just like, that's the worst case scenario, not happening. I cannot do that. And so we got the results from MRI. I was like super excited. I'm like, oh, this is great. Like, it's gonna be good. I'm just gonna be in 4 weeks. Like, I'm gonna miss like probably 1 game of volleyball and I'm back in. And the doctor came in and she held up the x-ray and she's like, you have stress fractures all throughout your pelvic bone. And then my heart dropped. She showed us, she's like, it's the same zip code. She explained like zip code area, but I have 2 stress fractures, and like here's my pelvic bone, and there was stress fractures right here on like the 2 areas like there. And I felt pain in my right side, but they said my left side was worse because I would favor the left side when I ran or when I did stuff. So that would, all that stress on it, like carrying all the weight, it fractured that side more. And I like held together for as long as I can, but as soon as I got in the car, I started crying. I was like, oh my god, my senior year is over. This was like the world to me. I was recruiting for colleges too. I had a highlight tape out there. I was talking to college coaches. I was just thinking like, oh my god, it's over. And it kind of was for a few weeks. I was resting all the time and I hated it. I hated it. And we had to move some girls around on the team. It was just awful. And I didn't want to do anything the day I got the news, but I went in to talk to my team because we had a team meeting. Kind of explained to them, I was like, I have stress fractures in my pelvic bone. I'll be out for weeks. I don't even know when I'm going to be better. And I started like crying a little bit because it's emotional, you know? It's your senior year. You don't know if you're ever going to play again. And that's why I told him. I was like, you know, you guys, in this beginning of the season, let's just play. Like, play your hardest because you don't know when it's going to be your last. And I kind of started choking up and I had to stop. But that was really bad. So I got an action plan. I rested, I started rehab, I worked really hard, I did all my exercises, and I found that like I started getting depressed, and I gained a little bit of weight, like 10-15 pounds, because I wasn't working out. And I kind of got really depressed because, you know, working out and like sweating is like my life. And then finally I got released, woohoo! And they said it was like one of the faster recoveries they've seen, which was really good because I did all my exercises, I rest, I iced, everything. And finally I was able to play. And that whole rest of the season, it was pretty good. I got to play half my senior season, it was great. And then summer of 2017, I was working out a lot, almost like every day. And I felt my hip again hurt, and I was like, oh no, not again. At this point, I wasn't playing anywhere for college, so I wasn't too worried, but I told my mom, like, hey, it's probably a stress fracture again. And we went in and get the x-rays, and they told us, like, it's the same exact thing, like your right hip pelvic area. Like, we had to check the dates on the x-rays from your first injury to this injury because we couldn't tell them because they looked exactly alike. So I hurt myself again. And I did a little bit of PT during my first few weeks of college at like the health center they had there. And I felt better. Now and then when I'm running, or if I had a really intense volleyball practice or it didn't stretch out all the way, I'll feel pain either in my hamstring, my right hamstring, or like in my pelvic bone, like in this area, in that area. And I'm like, oh shoot, I probably should stretch or ice after practice. And so it's It's my most recent one. It's still bothering me. I know I'm probably messing it up again. I went running two days in a row already, and it hurts. I'm like, dang it, I need to slow down. I need to do exercises, or else I'm just gonna mess up my hip again. Oh well, I can deal with it. So those are all my injuries, major ones, so far that I've remembered in my life. And they're all sports related if you haven't noticed, because yeah, athlete. Yeah, athlete. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I didn't gross you guys out too much. And I'd like to know your guys' injuries. So like leave a comment down below and I want to read them. Like what's your worst injury? Or like your most memorable injury. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share. Shout it from the rooftop. I don't know. Another little announcement. I just hit 10,000 views on my channel, which is like mind-blowing. Oh my god. Like, you guys, like 10,000, over 10,000 times someone has watched one of my videos. It's amazing. And I just want to thank you guys so much for watching all my videos, and I hope that we can get 20,000 even quicker. You know, I've almost had this channel for a year now. My first video was, I think, August 2nd. It was early August. And it's mid-May right now. So I'm getting there. And I'm already at 10,000 views, almost 150 subscribers. And yeah, everything's looking up for me. Awesome. Thank you guys so much again. Just want to say that. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for watching my videos and supporting me and subscribing. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, rest of your day, rest of your month, rest of your life, I guess. I don't know. And I'll see you guys in the next video.